Hey friends, we got dropped. My apologies. Hopefully we'll find our way back here. Hey, all right. Somebody found their way back. Good. Good morning. Hey, Jamie. Gail. I'm back. Me too. Good morning. I'm not sure what happened with the connectivity. I gave it a good check beforehand, but that's the reason it's live. You never know what's going to happen. It's crazy here. Good morning, Donna. Hi, John. Welcome back. Thank everybody. Thanks for finding your way back. Good morning. All right, I'm gonna let folks try and find their way back here, but let's begin today. Good morning, Priscilla. Glad you made it back. Sorry about that. I don't know quite what happened with our connection. Hey, Linda. But it is the 25th day of June at 11:11. And I am so grateful that each one of you are here and that we are journeying through this day together. And we have a little time to spend together, even though we get to check in a couple times here. So it's part of it's part of the magic of live. You never quite know what's going to happen. Hey, Sharon, glad you found your way back. So if you could, hey, Irene, glad you're finding your way back. So I'm here only 6 months till Christmas. Oh my gosh. Baby boy is on his way. Casey's coming home. That is a great news. He's been at if you don't know, he's been at the Holyoke Nursing Home. He's a National Guard medic, and he was there serving the veterans that were caught up in COVID, and has been giving great service. So he got promoted along the way. So there's much to rejoice in his good care of those who have served this nation. So I am thankful for him, and I'm glad you're excited. I bet you're excited to see him, Jamie. So it's live video. You never know what's going to happen. It could be anything. So here we are. It is this behind me, as you know, is First Congregational Church of Fall River. It is a place that it dominates. It is a skyline moment for this city. When you look across the river, if you're coming across the Braga Bridge, I always do. I always look for the tower. It's it's one of the things I do whenever I come across the Braga Bridge. If I head out to go to Target or whatever, I'm not, and no, I'm not just checking to make sure it's still there, but maybe in a way I am, because there's a part of this big pile of rocks that's behind me, and that's all it is. It's a big pile of rocks. This big pile of rocks that are stacked up on top of each other, that declares in this place that God is present, and that God is here, and that God is with us now. And this was, and we talk about, well, why steeples and why towers and all these sorts of things. But this is an ancient practice. This is ancient. Not only do we go back to the Tower of Babel in Bible. You do Babel and Bible. Oh, this could get weird. All right. Hey Maggie, good morning. But we come back to this. That every time in the Old Testament something powerful happens to the people of Israel, you know what they do? They stack rocks on top of each other. It's a thing they do. And they do that to mark that place, that something sacred, something important, something magical, something extraordinary happened in that place. And so they mark it. They physically mark it. I am convinced, and I've talked to a lot of people about this. If you look at the army, and you look at soldiers in the army, almost everybody has tons of tattoos. Like it's a tattoo. The Army is tattoo culture, but also our wider culture is tattoo culture. But if you look at it, what warriors carry as tattoos is that what they're doing is they're marking either battles or parts or accomplishments or things that they've done or places that they've been or people that they've been with or things that have mattered to them, that they carry on themselves the markings of their experience. And when we declare in this world, as we do with this church and with this tower, we declare in the world the presence, and we tell the story of God's love in the world one more day and one more time with its physical presence by stacking rocks on top of each other or carrying our stories on our bodies or all the different ways that we're doing it. And so I think, we're at this place where we all have a story. We all have something extraordinary that has happened in this time. We had a council meeting last night, and last night in the council meeting, one of our deacons shared her experience of being part of one of our mission times, and that story, you could tell everybody that was there, everybody that was a part of that call was touched by that. Because we shared her story. She was marking her story by sharing it with each other. But I want to encourage us to mark our story in the physical world these days. The story, this COVID story, the thing that kicked off about the 13th of March this year, and this time that we've been through. Think about what extraordinary thing has taken place. Because I will submit to you, there has been extraordinary things. There has been extraordinary things for you, and that you might not think of them that way. They may be more inner things. They may be more realizations about your life, realizations about the world, realizations about what's gone on, realizations about what really matters in your life, in the physical place where you are. In the physical place that you are. I know I've said this before, but it bears repeating. Jesus only weeps a couple times, and the two times Jesus cries is one over the grief of the loss of his friend Lazarus. The other is he looks over the city that he loves. He looks over Jerusalem, and he weeps for how far away from God's grace the whole thing has gone. And that for Jesus, he marks it with his body. He marks it with the blood and the water that comes from his side. He marks it with the rolling away. When we talk about stacking stones on one another, where do we find the stone in our resurrection story? When the stone is rolled away, when we stop living as though this thing is important and that isn't, and this thing is important. But every moment is in the grace and in the peace and in the joy and in the presence of the resurrected Christ. You see, that's what our tower declares to the world. That's what your steeple or your tower declares to the world. That's what your rocks and your cairns that you stack up, those physical things in your life that you create. So I want to invite you. We'll meet again on Tuesday, because after that I'll be gone. But we'll be talking about what'll happen after that. I'll be gone for a couple weeks, but we'll talk about what happens after that. But I want you to consider this time. In these next few days, I want you to consider it, and I want you to see if you can make a physical mark. Make a physical mark of the place that you are. Make a physical place, stack some rocks on top of each other for whether it's a walk on the beach in a little cairn, something to mark this time for you. Maybe it's something you plant in your garden. Maybe it's something you lift up. Maybe it's a rock you throw into the ocean that'll never be seen again. I don't know what it'll be. But do something physical that'll mark the change of this time, because although we are, if you haven't read my piece, that it's pinned on our page about the new normal and my kind of feelings about that, I really encourage you to read it, because that hasn't changed. It's only gotten more so. But it also doesn't mean we are unchanged by this time. It doesn't mean we're just kind of impervious to that which we have been through. No, we'll take this experience and we'll integrate it into our lives, into all that is, and that we will find a time when we too will roll all the rocks away, and that there won't be the good times and the bad times, but there will be only the times that every part of our lives, every piece, the greatest and the heartbreaks, all of them, we stand with the presence of the resurrected Christ in them. And that's the promise that this tower declares. That's the promise that it declares to this city every time that Riviera bell rings out across this town, every time that something moves, every time a soul walks across the threshold. It declares that there's no experience in this world. There's none. There's no heartbreak, and there's no glory that is so far removed from the grace and the presence of the resurrected Christ. So set up your stones this week, friends. Set up something that stack some rocks on top of each other. Plant some things. Get a tattoo. I don't care what you do. But mark it in some way. Mark physically this time that you've been through, because you've been through something. You've been through something, and let the world know. Let the physical world declare. Let the rocks cry out, as Jesus says, with your experience and your encounter with these days. All right, friends, that is my time. That is our time for today. I have a few people I want us to keep in prayer over this weekend. Please keep Yvette in our prayers. She just got out of surgery yesterday. She's doing well. She's headed home. Everything has gone well. So praise God for that. Please keep Shelby in your prayers. She continues to heal from kidney surgery, and we hold her dear and close. That we are, and that in all of these days, and all of those that are isolated, and all those that maybe you haven't seen in this chat for a few days, shoot them a message. Be a part of it. Stay connected in this time. We're going to worship at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. And we'll be here on Facebook Live as well as in person, right through that open door right behind me. So it's my hope that you'll be a part of this journey and stack some rocks on top of each other. Make a space. Be a part of this physical world that marks these days that you've been through. It is my hope that each one of you are being a part of that, so that you might mark your days with holiness. All right, friends. I will. If I do not see you Sunday, I will hopefully see you again on Tuesday. Blessings of peace and grace.